We see them, but don't acknowledge them. We hear them, but don't listen to them. We know the issue, but ignore it.
My name is Brandy Tuck. I am the Executive Director of Portland Homeless Family Solutions.
My name is Grace Baddick. I'm the Volunteer Coordinator and Vendor Program Assistant.
My name is Dennis Arnold. I am the Food Services Manager and Building Manager for the Blanchet House.
My name is David Willis. I'm Home Service Coordinator here at the Universal Mission.
Nearly 4,000 people sleep on the streets of Portland each night.
In Multnomah County, there are about 2,800 people that are members of families that are experiencing homelessness every single night. That makes up about 58% of the overall homeless population in Portland and Multnomah County are actually families with children. And a lot of times when we think about homelessness in Portland, we think about the single guy who's sitting on the interstate exit ramp, or we think about people downtown in Chinatown and Old Town that are maybe struggling with mental illness or addiction. But 58% of the homeless population here in Portland are actually just moms and dads and kids that are going through a really hard time.
A lot of times vendors, especially vendors who are sleeping out, who are on the street, what Street Roots provides to them is a sense of dignity, that before selling the newspaper they felt invisible and that they didn't have much worth or dignity because often they were overlooked on the street. They just didn't feel like they had anything to contribute to society. But by selling the newspaper and showing up and really being dedicated to it, they are able to, again, find self-worth and dignity that they didn't have before.
Oh, it's growing here. It's growing. This is the homeless mecca of the world, Portland is. This is the only place that you can go to get the resources that they have here. The government here really welcomes homeless people and coddles them in a lot of ways. Not saying that's a bad thing, it's just with all the resources, you don't even have to be a resident here, and you can come here and get $200 a month in food stamps. You don't have to be an Oregon resident. So, you know, people, and we do see that during the summer months, there's a whole different crowd that comes in, and they're train hoppers. So they just ride around the country, hopping freight trains, and they end up in the winter months, they end up down south where it's nice. And in the summer months, they'll come up and hang out in Portland.
I feel like that's true, that a lot of cities around the country, I've personally met a lot of people in the 7.5 years that I've lived up here that have came here from other places like Florida, New Orleans, all over. And they come here because they hear about the resources, and they even admit that, you know. And I don't think that's a bad thing. I think that's natural humanity, where human beings want to go where it's warm. They want to be warm. They want to feel loved. They want to get resources and stuff. And if the rest of the country is not able to take care of their own, or they don't care about taking care of their own, then I feel like, yeah, there's a problem there. That when everybody wants to run here because we're so nice, or Portland is so nice or whatever, and I mean, originally that's not why I moved up here, but you know, I mean, it was kind of nice that when I did move out here and I saw all that was here, and that was nice and everything. But I actually do know people who have admitted to me that they have came out here specifically because they heard that they can get free health care and this was before the whole Affordable Care Act and everything too. So this wasn't something just new, or people have been coming here for that reason for a long time, actually. And I do personally think that it's wrong. Not that it's wrong that Portland helps so many people and unconditionally helps. I think that's a good thing. I just think that everywhere else should be doing it on the same level.
You have two sides. You have some that have open heart and want to help people regardless of what they look like, smell like, talk like. You know, then you have the other side with just want to condemn, You know, take a bath, get a job, you know, get off of drugs. Well, if you haven't walked in somebody's shoes before, you really can't say where they've been, you know. And I'm careful to judge people by their appearance.
It's multi-generational because it all starts with the parents. Everything starts with the parents that ends up being an adult. You know, I mean, for example, like every day I have parents who walk past me with their little kid next to them, and their little kid wants to run up because they see a guitar.
Oh yeah.
Right? They see music, they see happiness, they don't see homeless.
Yeah.
They don't see that.
They don't see the tattoo.
But the
anything
parents
like that.
see the homeless. That's all they see. They don't see the person behind the homeless. And so they drag their little kid away, but then they get caught up with their cell phone for a minute. And the little kid comes and wanders over as I'm playing. And they're dancing. And all of a sudden the parent looks up and is confused because they don't know what to do. Do I help this guy because he's making my kid happy and not doing anything wrong? In fact, he's providing something. Or do I drag my kid away and act like it never happened and try to keep my kid from ever experiencing that?
When I hear of people not being seen as a human being, again, as a vendor, you're trying to be seen. So it's different than just holding a sign.
The way I see it is that the Bible says if your neighbor knocks on your door and asks you for bread in the middle of the night or whenever it might be, and you don't want to get up to give it to him, you know what I'm saying? You know, you think about that. Or if a neighbor that you like come and knock on your door in the middle of the night, somebody who you know and you're familiar with, or a family member, would you get up? See, it's like to discern when and where and how you should give. If you're called to give that, you got to take that to you. That's between you and God. You know, if God put on your heart to have somebody come to you and ask for a helping hand, and you're gonna say, well, hey, I'm not gonna give it to you because if I give it to you today, you're gonna want it tomorrow. See, the thing of it is that for me, myself, you know what I'm saying, you know, I don't wanna look easy, I don't look weak, all right? But if a person comes to me every day, which they do every day, you know, he want a pair of shoes every day. You see what I'm saying? You know, well, wait a minute. Would God want you to enable this person to get a pair of shoes every day when you know that you gave them a pair of shoes yesterday? Are they mentally off? Or are they taking them down here and selling them? Or what? You have to discern. You see what I'm saying? You know, and you can't be a judge and say, hey, you know what I'm saying, this and that, because you're going to have to deal with that. You know, you have to really know within your heart, what kind of heart you got. You see what I'm saying? You know, and that's what God shows me.